Well, here it is, my review of 2020. I'd usually do this standing in front of you with a Christmas hat on and a silly jumper, but of course the pandemic has put a stop to that, so I'll have to deliver it in this format. It's been the strangest of years for the choir, but we managed to start the year in the usual way with a steering committee meeting where we had another great turnout. The meeting finished with such high ideals and a great action plan, but unfortunately many of those ideas were scuppered by the arrival of the virus. Anyway, we did manage some close-up singing and did our usual wassailing just after 12th night. At the beginning of February we had the AGM, where we were very lucky to vote in the same committee as we had last year. This meant there was a strong, experienced team to see us through the turbulent year ahead. We took delivery of the choral shield from the engravers, which proudly showed our name as the winners from the 2019 Reigate and Redhill Music Festival. We are, of course, still the unchallenged, unbeaten holders and current champions of this award. March saw us singing at the Coulsdon and Purley Music Festival for the first time. This turned out to be our only performance of 2020, but it was a great night hearing other choirs sing and getting excellent feedback for the 2 songs we performed. We were awarded a certificate of distinction, and it was hoped that we would make it back next year. Just 2 weeks later, COVID-19 strikes, and after much research, many discussions, and having sought advice, we took the decision to suspend the choir singing together at the school to ensure we did all we could to remove any risk, ensuring everyone was kept safe. Although heartbreaking, this was the right thing to do. On the 3rd of April, just 2 weeks after the decision not to meet, we tested Zoom for an online coffee where just under 20 of us chatted and discussed plans for the coming weeks and months. The following week, we have an even bigger group gathered on Zoom, checking up on each other and talking about how we're all doing during the first lockdown. In May, we released a short film everyone had been working really hard on. We Shall Overcome showed over 30 solo singers recording themselves at home, both audio and visual, then sending it in to be edited together so that we could become a complete choir once again. The results were spectacular, a great achievement for a community of people pulling together to achieve something special.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
In the heat of June, we continued with our Tuesday evening Zoom sessions, really getting into a rhythm now. But we've come to realise that the get-together each week is just as much about looking out for each other as well as singing. It's about catching up and chatting about this very different way of life. We're lucky to have the choir WhatsApp group as well, which is very active through the week when we're not together. But in between the singing we talk, and we've talked about all sorts. The various hats we've worn while we sang all around my hat. We've talked about garden hose usage, moving house, lederhosen, virtual gyms, real gyms, and of course Where the Hell is Andy based on his background picture. Lots of fun. July, and we continue with the sessions. We're getting a regular attendance of between 16 and 20 members each week. But we all agree that we'd take our usual break for summer and give us and our computers some time to cool off. August, and all the postcards come flooding in from every corner of the world as people enjoy their holidays. Wait, that didn't happen. We're still getting to grips with a global pandemic. September, we start a new term, and once again we've had to look very carefully at the numbers, the cases, transmission of the virus and the risk associated with singing as a choir together again. Although this would have been legal with all the relevant precautions in place, distancing, masks, hand sanitizer, etc., we once again decided to stay safe and remain on Zoom, which in retrospect we think was certainly the right move. We even sung a song about it. October saw the introduction of our Bring and Share slot during the break in our sessions. We've had some very creative presentations, and members have been generously sharing their recipes for apple cake, for flapjacks, as well as telling us about different walks close by and further afield. We've also had a photo presentation from National Trust visit, a poetry recital, and a talk about a weekend of folk music. We've also had a very dodgy video of some chap singing to himself with different hats on. In November, we celebrated Guy Fawkes Night and the start of autumn with a candle-lit session listening to and watching beautifully reflective and relevant music videos. Quite a sight and hugely uplifting. We saw a second lockdown and we pushed out the invitation to others in the community who might want to join us, friends, family members, or those who might just need some company on a Tuesday night. We stayed active on WhatsApp, Facebook and Twitter, keeping people in touch. We started learning a new Christmas song, Included at Christmas, where we came together with the Include Choir, who helped teach us how to sign along with the words. The results were great and we all have some new Macathon vocabulary. And now we're in December. We've missed out on our community sing-alongs, but we've revisited so many of our Christmas favourites on Zoom. We're lucky having so many recordings to sing along to, thanks to the voice recording apps and those of us who popped our iPhones on the stage each week when we were together. Some of us went along to Sing Festive, run by our former choir leader Anna Tabush, and others have joined the Include Choir at their Christmas event, both thoroughly enjoyed by our members, sharing in the love of singing. So that brings me up to date, and all that is left for me to do is to say thank you. A huge thank you to Philippa for leading us through this difficult year, for coming up with creative ways for us to enjoy each and every session, and for having the patience with technology. Also, a big thank you to Pauline for keeping everyone informed with what is going on each week and sending out words and arrangements for each session. Thank you to Janet for keeping us going through number crunching, making sure we cover costs throughout the year, and thanks to Andy for keeping the website up to date and making sure we can be found on the web. But finally, a massive thank you to you all. Without you, we would not have a choir. Thank you so much for your support during this year. You guys are amazing, and it is a pleasure being part of a choir with you. Thank you.